Well, hello, welcome back. We are now going to be thinking about some cool ideas we can use over this month's lesson. We're using D minor, so make sure you're in tuned. And if we're playing this stuff, just using the D minor scale will get you so far. But when you're wanting to create solo ideas and melodies and things like that, the more chord tones that you use, the better off you're going to be. So the theme for today is knowing those chord tones for all the chords that are in this tune. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually start with the chorus first. So the chorus is going to be G minor, then C. We're just playing G5 and C5. G over B, B flat, 5, E5, A5, and D5. What we're trying to create is more like a melody with this stuff. We want to make sure we're hitting these chord tones. So G minor, I need to use a flat 3 and a root and a 5. So root, flat 3, 5. So if G is right here on E3, there's my flat 3 with B flat, and then there's my 5th with D. So I'm going to use finger 1, finger 4, and finger 3 to do that first arpeggio or triad. Now if I do this right here, go +2 on the D string, now I actually get the exact same spot. So I just do the same fingering. So that's 1, flat 3, 5. I'm on D5, D8, G7. Okay, if I go +3 on the B string, I'm going to use it kind of like the C in the word caged. I have the exact same thing. So notice finger 1 is taking care of the root. Okay, if I go +2 on the A string, I go to A10. I have the same exact fingering. And then when I go +2 on the G string, I got to make one little concession. I got to make sure that that B string is over 1 fret. Don't worry, tabs will be in the description, so make sure to check the description for the links. And then I can start back over. And so on. So that gives me something I can use in like my solo ideas. So say the G minor is going around. Well, I can use that, or I can use different fingerings. So say I'm on here, right here, that's the 5th fret. I start looking at that 5th fret and then I change fingers. Now my flat 3 might be over here, which it is. The flat 3 will now be on the G string, and the 5th will be on the G string as well. So I've got to do fingers 2, 1, and 4. And that gets me that same kind of idea. So you got to make sure that you can play it with every finger that's on that fret. So finger 1, finger 2, when finger 3 is on here, I'm kind of like the same thing as finger 2. And then when I change it to finger 4, look at that. Now that's going to go A10, D8, G7. So finger 4, finger 2, finger 1. So I have a G, B flat, and D. And the next chord is C. and its notes are C, E, and G. So if I'm ending on a D, and C, E, and G are my root, third, fifth of a C chord, look at here. I can go down to a C right here, or go up to an E, and it's going to sound great. So I can do that, and that'll sound perfect over that. Or I can go, and that works too. You basically want to make the last note of your phrase connect to the first note of your next phrase. So that first note needs to be alphabetically close to your last note, and now you actually have a really good continuity and great sound for the listener. Now I can do a bend right there. And you almost can hear that C chord. Okay, and then the next chord is going to be G over B. So if I were to think about this alphabetically, I have a G, B, and D. So I need to know where G is, B, and D are right there. But what I need to make sure is B is like in the root. B is like in the bass note. So I need to make sure that B is going to be like a note that I play next. So I could go like, and now you can hear that chord. Oh, there's a G note. That sounds like that can work too. Oh, I can use that. That works as well. We also could be able to play the G minor arpeggio, C major arpeggio, and then go to B to kind of get into that G sound right there. But we want to make sure that we don't sound too much like G to where when we go to B flat, it doesn't work as well. So what you want to think about is maybe making B that note that you're going to connect to B flat with, or use D as the glue, because B flat has a D in it. So if I use G over B, and then I use B flat, I could use that D for glue because that note is in both triads. So I can use that. Also, if you want to go one step further, you could extend that G and do some kind of G with a dominant and use an F note. So right there, I'm doing G12, B10, B12, B13, E10, E12, E13. And that gives me a G dominant sound. And then I can descend down a B flat arpeggio. That'll be E13, E10, B11, G10, D12, and A13. So I could do something like that. And if that was the case, I'd probably want to get like my G stuff to go this way so I can get into that note. quickly as possible. Now we got the E, and this is the E5, but really we're going to be thinking about E minor 7 flat 5. So what we could do is, look at there, we have a G minor triad over an E. So here's a quick, cool little hack. To make that sound, play G minor, a G minor triad, and then hit an E note. And you'll get this. That's going to be the easiest one. G12, B11, E10, E12. And then finish it off on G9. So I can now have and then there's my A7 or my A idea right there, because it's going to go from that E diminished type of sound to A5. Hey, make sure you can subscribe and stick with us and get better with us. We're all getting better as a community. And then we can go to there. So E is the fifth of A. That's the reason why this is going to work. Because E, so I can play this. There's the fifth of A. So all I got to do is go to my A right there. And that is the fifth of D. So I could practice like going, just listening for it. And that's a really, really good thing you can start to do. Like if you're brand new, one thing to try is just to take the roots and play the roots into each other. You can hear that really quickly. And then add the third. And now we got something that sounds even more like the song, you know. And then if you want to add some more, let's add the fifth. Now it sounds even more like, you know, melodies. Once you get there, let's add one more layer. Let's add some slides. Next, let's add some bends. You want to add bends where you have a little bit of extra time. Otherwise, here's what you're going to do. You're going to bend one of the chord tones. Let's try that again. That might be something you can use as well. So if I'm working on these kinds of ideas, I can start to think about, okay, what if I did like some kind of sequences? So here's a sequence we could work on. That's a weird one. Let's do that one again. Hear that one? So now I'm just kind of messing around and getting some different ideas. Don't worry, I don't charge extra for mistakes, as the great Guthrie Trapp says. If you're thinking about this, this is really going to start to give you some new ideas to think about. Like if I have... I'm thinking about those thirds. That's the third for the G minor. There's the third for the C. Right here I could use that thing for that G over B. So and then there's the third of B flat. And then here's our... I could do that diminished idea. And then there's A right there. And then D minor. So that's some things to think about. And really what we want to do is we want to establish a layer. We want to make sure we know the roots. Then we want to make sure we know the third. Then we want to make sure we know the fifths. And then the seventh or the ninth, depending on how much you want to extend. Then you want to make sure that you connect melodically with like the alphabet. You know, you want to go from A to B flat, or A to B, or B flat to B, or B to C. You want to keep it alphabetically close. This will really make you sound very nice and fluid. Then we also want to use good time. Like make sure that your chord tones come down on downbeats and strong downbeats, and it'll sound really good. And then when you're wanting to practice some other ideas, practice those sequences. Sequences are really cool to kind of get you some ideas to be able to go, just to hit it and go. So yeah, there you have it. All right, I want y'all to take this and just use this as a template, as a starting point to give you some new ideas to think about. Remember, the chord tones are the most important thing, and then you can use sequences to get you around. Next month, we're going to have a couple of lessons that are going to deal with odd times and also kind of like some lo-fi ideas. And subscribe, and y'all have a blessed weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.